Good morning and welcome to Thursday. Today's psalm is number 72, and it's a psalm that would have been used at the coronation of a new king or perhaps on a king's anniversary. And it talks about the ways in which they would want the king to act. And here's a couple of lines. Let him judge your people with righteousness and your poor ones with justice. Let the mountains bring peace to the people. Let the hills bring righteousness. Let the king bring justice to people who are poor. Let him save the children of those who are needy, but let him crush oppressors. And it continues, it's kind of a repetition of justice and righteousness, the expectations of how a king, in their context, should act. And so James Taylor, in Psalms for Every Day, it's not the singer, but another James Taylor, wrote a variation that I found very effective. If powerful people played fair. If only powerful people could be more like you, God, then they would apply the same standards to their own lives that they demand of those who depend on them. Then employees might enjoy working. Press releases would tell the truth. Industrial dumps would not defile the world. Powerful people would selflessly serve their constituencies. They would not exploit for short-term profit those who have less money, less power, and less influence. Such people would earn our long-term loyalty. They would deserve to prosper. Their radical example would make others reconsider their own attitudes. All the world would recognize this remarkable approach. All the world would come to see how it is done. Amazing. People in positions of power who do not manipulate events for their own benefit. They do what they do for the least of their customers. They treat single mothers, natives, immigrants, and teenagers as people of worth, not merely as potential consumers. For them, there are no mass markets. Every individual is precious as a person. We need that kind of leadership. I thought that was a really well imagined reinterpretation of Psalm 72 around the themes as it is in the original text around justice and righteousness, particularly justice for the poor. And the last line, we need that kind of leadership. So people who lived under a king had no choice. People who live in a democracy, which we hope we have, can demand that of their leaders. That's the point of a democracy. I don't know that there are any things that I would disagree in here, but it does absolutely provide a vision of what we're talking about when we talk about biblical values around righteousness and justice and peace and shalom. And that would be my prayer, not just for elected leaders, but as this points out, all of us who are in positions of some sort of power, which includes pastors. And think about how that might apply to you too. And I pray you have a grateful day.